the postman who delivered dreams after midnight, letters for those who forgot to hope. In a small, quaint town nestled between ancient whispering hills and a sky that cradled stars like precious jewels, there lived a postman unlike any other. His name was Rowan, though a peculiar fog seemed to cling to his presence, making it difficult for anyone to ever quite recall his face, or the exact moment of their encounter. His extraordinary route began only after the midnight hour had chimed, a mystical threshold, when the world shed its mundane skin and slipped into a realm of deep, velvety shadows and hushed secrets. It was a time when the very air hummed with a different kind of energy, and the thin, shimmering veil between slumber and waking dreams became almost transparent. Rowan did not carry the usual assortment of bills, cheerful greetings, or mundane advertisements. His satchel, a curious artifact woven from the very essence of starlight, and the profound silence of forgotten moments pulsed with a faint inner luminescence. Within its depths, nestled among folds of ethereal fabric, lay not paper, but sealed envelopes, each one vibrating with a delicate, otherworldly energy. These were not ordinary letters, but meticulously crafted dreams, each one carefully addressed to a specific, sole individuals who had, somewhere along their arduous and winding path through life, inadvertently misplaced the very map to hope itself. They were addressed to those whose spirits had grown weary, whose lights had dimmed, and who yearned for a gentle touch of reassurance in the quiet solitude of their nights. His footsteps, as soft and imperceptible as the gentle descent of the first snowflake upon a still winter's night, carried him first to a modest widow's porch. Here the aged wooden boards creaked with the weight of unspoken memories, and the wind, a solitary and empathetic confidant, seemed to have taken up residence, whispering tales to her empty rocking chair. The porch light, a single flickering beacon, cast long melancholic shadows, its dim, mournful eye seeming to observe Rowan's approach with a silent understanding. With a reverence born of profound empathy and a deep understanding of human sorrow, Rowan reached into his glowing satchel and placed an envelope upon the worn wooden boards. Inside, nestled amongst the tender, almost translucent folds, was a dream of a garden. Not just any garden, but one vibrant and alive, bursting with hues of emerald green and sapphire blue, where the laughter of loved ones, echoes from a cherished past, bloomed again, as real and resonant as the sweet, earthy scent of summer rain after a long drought. It was a dream meticulously designed to mend the ragged edges of sorrow, to gently coax fractured memories back into wholeness, and to repaint the monochrome world of grief with vibrant, healing strokes of joy and rediscovery. He moved with an ethereal grace, a silent sentinel of solace, his presence almost a dream in itself. His next stop was a somber house, where he paused discreetly by a veteran's dark, curtained window. The dwelling stood stoic and quiet, a silent monument to countless battles fought, to the unseen scars carried, and to the profound, often deafening silence of endured trauma. Through the narrow slit of the mail slot, a barely perceptible opening in the heavy oak door, Rowan slipped another dream, this one shimmering with the quiet, unyielding strength of resilience, promised a boundless, clear sky, an endless expanse of tranquil blue, utterly devoid of storm clouds or the shadow of conflict. In this dream, thunder was no longer the terrifying roar of war, or the shattering impact of explosions, but the joyous, booming applause of a grateful, admiring world. It was a dream intricately crafted to dissipate the lingering echoes of trauma, to quiet the internal storms that raged, and to transform the jagged, painful edges of memory into smooth, comforting stones, warm and familiar beneath one's spiritual feet. His journey then led him up the creaky, groaning stairs to a small, unassuming apartment nestled above the sweet, intoxicating scent of the town bakery. The aroma of freshly baked bread and warm pastries wafted through the night air, a comforting contrast to the quiet weariness within. Inside this modest dwelling lived a nurse, her days a relentless, exhausting rhythm of compassionate care and selfless devotion to others. Her nights were often sleepless, punctuated by the quiet anxieties and profound responsibilities of a life dedicated to healing. Rowan, with the gentle, almost imperceptible touch of moonlight, delivered a dream of a vast, quiet ocean, a boundless, crystalline expanse of tranquil blue, stretching as far as the eye could see, where the rhythmic, soothing waves whispered ancient lullabies. The gentle current of this dream ocean was designed to pull away every worry, every burden, every lingering tension, allowing her, at long last, to finally and profoundly sleep. It was a dream of deep, restorative peace, a true, healing breath after years of tirelessly holding her own, of being the steadfast pillar for so many others. Each delivery was more than a mere act. It was a quiet, profound act of redemption, a silent promise whispered into the deepest, most vulnerable hours of the night. It was a testament to the enduring power of compassion and the fragile, yet resilient, nature of the human spirit. With each envelope placed, a seed of new possibility was sown, a glimmer of light introduced into darkness. By dawn, as the first delicate blush of rose and lavender appeared on the eastern horizon, painting the sky with ethereal beauty, every luminous envelope would dissolve, not into nothingness, not vanishing without a trace, but dissolving into the very breath of its receiver, becoming an intrinsic part of their being. And as the day unfolded, as the sun climbed higher, the dream would gently unfurl within their minds, not as a memory of sleep, but like a letter read for the first time, its profound words imprinted not on fragile paper, but on the very fabric of their waking consciousness. They would carry throughout their day a subtle yet undeniable sense of lightness, a burgeoning warmth in their chest, a quiet, unfamiliar certainty that things could indeed be better, that the world, despite its inevitable challenges, held within it the boundless potential for joy and renewal. Yet, for all the countless addresses Rowan so unerringly found, for all the myriad dreams he delivered with such precise care, there remained one address he could never locate his own. He carried within his satchel, unlike the glowing envelopes of hope, but with a faint, almost imperceptible ache that resonated deep within his own spirit, a single, solitary envelope. It was not luminous instead, it felt heavy, laden with unspoken stories. This unique envelope was stamped starkly and irrevocably with the poignant words, "Return to sender." This was the dream he had once, long ago, misplaced, a dream of his own, a personal aspiration, a fundamental fragment of his very being. It was the hope he had, in a selfless act of profound empathy, lent to someone else, a precious piece of his own self that he had given away, never truly expecting to need it back, never imagining the hollowness its absence would leave. On the last night of summer, a night heavy with the intoxicating perfume of ripening earth, the nostalgic, continuous hum of crickets, and the lingering warmth of days gone by, Rowan's journey took an unexpected, almost destined turn. Down a forgotten street where time seemed to have paused, where gnarled, persistent weeds aggressively reclaimed crumbling pavement, and the houses stood silent, their windows dark and shuttered, seemingly uninhabited and long abandoned. He stumbled upon it, a mirror-bright mailbox. It wasn't just superficially reflective. It shimmered with an intense internal light, a quiet luminescence that hinted at profound depths and ancient, stored energies. This was no ordinary, mundane mailbox. It was, in essence, the very heart of the town's collective memory, a silent, enduring repository of shared joys and profound sorrows, of every unspoken wish, every forgotten longing, and every whisper of resilience passed down through generations, with a tremor of something akin to profound, unfamiliar fear, yet, perhaps, a deeper, burgeoning, almost overwhelming hope. Rowan approached. He hesitated for a long moment, the weight of his own lost dream feeling heavier than ever before. Then, with a slow, deliberate movement, he posted the letter there. The act was more than a simple gesture. It was a profound release, a surrender of a burden he had carried for what felt like an eternity. He watched, captivated, as the envelope, his own lost dream, his return to sender, slid silently and smoothly into the shimmering slot, its edges seeming to dissolve as it was absorbed into the luminous, pulsating heart of the mailbox. A soft internal light within the mailbox seemed to brighten for a moment, acknowledging its new precious cargo. This was the true act of self-redemption, a quiet reclamation of his own forgotten spirit. When morning arrived, painting the sky with the breathtaking, delicate hues of peach, rose, and molten gold, illuminating the world with a gentle, new light, the townspeople awakened with a subtle yet undeniable gentle ache. It was a tender unfamiliarity, a profound sense of something long absent, now returned as if something precious, something long lost and deeply missed, had been carefully and painstakingly stitched back inside them, mending old wounds they hadn't even realized they carried. A quiet, pervasive optimism now hummed beneath the surface of their everyday lives, a deep, inherent sense that the world, despite its inevitable hardships, held within it untold possibilities, that beauty could still be found, and that joy was always within reach. And Rowan? He walked home, his satchel now light and wonderfully empty, no longer burdened by the silent, aching weight of his own lost dream. The air around him felt different, lighter, infused with a newfound clarity. A sky-colored smile as vast and serene as the dawn itself, as boundless as the clear morning sky, spread across his face, lighting up his eyes. He finally understood, with a profound certainty that settled deep in his bones, a truth that resonated through his very being, that hope is not merely a fleeting emotion, a fragile wish, or an elusive concept. It is, in fact, a tangible, persistent presence, a living force that always finds its way to its true address, provided, of course, that someone like him, with quiet dedication and unwavering purpose, keeps walking the night, carrying light into the deepest, most shadowed corners, ensuring that no dream is ever truly lost and no heart is left without its rightful message.